Howdy folks, welcome to the channel. I'm Don. This is Rock of the Country, broadcasting from New Jersey. And I've got a gift request. Brian Turner made a gift to the channel. Brian, thank you for this gift, my friend. Welcome aboard the gift chat, the playing DJ for the day, or at least for this song part. Johnny Cash's One Piece at a Time. I reacted to this song some years ago, and I haven't heard it in a while, and it's very funny, and I used to be opposed to reacting to songs for the second time. And now, but now that I've been at it, we're in our 8th year of the channel. Years have gone by between hearing a song and now, and I'm like, I wonder what my perception of the song will be now. So, and I didn't grow up on country, so sometimes this might only be the second time I've heard a song. I happen to have heard this song more than once, more than twice. But Brian said this in the request. I'm a longtime watcher and subscriber, almost from the beginning. Well, thank you for that, Brian. So you've seen my growth and my awareness of country. So maybe I've caught up to you in some way. I'm probably not quite there because I'm guessing you grew up on country, whereas I grew up on rock. You said, but I've never made a request until now. I've enjoyed watching your journey, discovering the same music I've listened to growing up and even still today. My dad was a big influence on my musical tastes, and I'm glad people still enjoy and or are discovering the artists he brought me up on. Now, that's beautiful. I love that connection between you and your dad. I am not sure if you've already heard this one or had this song requested before, but it's definitely a favorite. Please feel free to rate the song as well. Hope you enjoy. Brian in Tennessee. So Brian in Tennessee, thank you. Tennessee is a big, beautiful state with so many beautiful things and people going on in it. So, yeah, what part of Tennessee, if you want to say? I was just on the phone the other day with a dear friend of mine. She and her husband live in Franklin. So, all right, here we go. One piece at a time. The one and only Johnny Cash.
Well, I left Kentucky back in '49 and went to Detroit working on assembly line. The first year they had me putting wheels on Cadillacs. Every day I'd watch them beauties roll by, and sometimes I'd hang my head and cry, 'cause I always wanted me one that was long and black.
Yeah.
One day I devised myself a plan that should be the envy of most any man. I'd sneak it out of there in a lunchbox in my hand. Now getting caught meant getting fired, but I figured I'd have it all by the time I retired. I'd have me a car worth at least $100 grand. I'd get it one piece at a time, and it wouldn't cost me a dime. You'll know it's me when I come through your town.
They sure will.
I'm gonna ride around in style. I'm gonna drive everybody wild, 'cause I'll have the only one there is around.
I never even realized how funny this act. I knew it was funny just from what he was doing, but the lyrics in here are way truer than you think. Now, once you know what the song's about, I'll have the only one around. You'll know me when I come through town. And it's like, when you know what the car eventually looks like, you're like, yeah, that's way truer than you think the first time you hear it.
So the very next day when I punched in with my big lunchbox and with help from my friend, I left that day with a lunchbox full of gears. I've never considered myself a thief, but GM wouldn't miss just one little piece, especially if I strung it out over several years. The first day I got me a fuel pump, and the next day I got me an engine and a trunk. Then I got me a transmission and all the chrome. The little things I could get in my big lunchbox, like nuts and bolts and all 4 shocks, but the big stuff we snuck out my buddy's mobile home. Now up to now my plan went all right till we tried to put it all together one night, and that's when we noticed that something was definitely wrong. The transmission was a 53 and the motor turned out to be a 73. And when we tried to put in the bolts, all the holes were gone. So we drilled it out so that it would fit, and with a little bit of help from an adapter kit, we had that engine running just like a song. Now the headlights, there was another sight. We had two on the left and one on the right, but when we pulled out the switch, all three of them come on. The back end looked kind of funny too, but we put it together, and when we got through, well, that's when we noticed that we only had one tail fin. About that time, my wife walked out, and I could see in her eyes that she had her doubts, but she opened the door and said, "Honey, take me for a spin." So we drove uptown just to get the tags, and I headed to ride on down Main Drag. I could hear everybody laughing for blocks around.
Yeah.
But up there at the courthouse, they didn't laugh, 'cause to type it up, it took the whole staff, and when they got through, the title weighed 60 pounds. I got it one piece at a time, and it didn't cost me a dime. You'll know it's me when I come through your town. I'm gonna ride around in style, I'm gonna drive everybody wild, 'cause I'll have the only one there is around. Yeah, Red Rider, this is the Cottonmouth in the Psycho Billy Cadillac, come on.
Cottonmouth.
This is the Cottonmouth, and negatory on the cost of this machine there, Red Rider. You might say I went right up to the factory and picked it up. It's cheaper that way. What model is it? Well, it's a 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59 automobile. It's a 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70.
The concept, the idea of writing this song is brilliant. I always think of this stuff because I don't know. The philosopher in me loves ideas, but I always look at the beginnings, and I write a lot too, and I'm in a very creative world, and just how people get these ideas and then they decide to flesh them out. Like there's so many ideas, and I've lived this. Like I've written a lot of books, some of which are published, some of which I discover on my laptop because I forget. But sometimes you'll start writing and you'll get 10 pages into something and you'll lose interest in it. And that doesn't happen often, but it does happen. It happens enough where you're like, well, you think you've got this great idea for a song or a book or an article, and you'll start writing it, and then you realize, I really don't have as much interest in this or ability to carry it out as I thought. And a song like this could be just like that. For every song that shows up like this, a songwriter will get 10 or 20 funny ideas for a song, and they'll either forget about it from the time they get the first idea to the time they get back to their laptop or pencil and paper, or they start to get into it and they're like, man, I really can't flesh this out the way I thought. And so when I hear a song like this, I'm like, it's a brilliant idea to come up with. Then you have to flesh it out. And the lyricist stuck with it, had fun with it. It wouldn't have been as easy as you'd think, but because the challenge in a song like this is, what do you leave on the cutting room floor? There's so much material to work with. You could talk about your coworker seeing you leaving the building, and then Billy was okay with it, or he himself added a part to his. Like so many parts of this got left out, but the parts that are in it, just imagine being around a campfire, and everybody knows the song, right? And somebody just breaks out the guitar, and you're going to sing this song. And one, you'd have to remember the lyrics too, but if you're singing this with a group of 10, 12 folks around a campfire, you're going to be giggling your head off because it's so ludicrous. The way Johnny sang it was this up-tempo, happy. Even his wife rubber stamped it. She wanted to go for a ride in it instead of saying, that's immoral, Johnny, it's wrong. You stole it. You can't do that. You're going to get caught. Look how ridiculous it is. It's got one fin, two headlights on one and one on the other. And the title weighed 60 pounds. That was a funny line. But they also gave him title to this car. Or if you could call it a car. So I don't know. The whole process of this thing just cracks me up. And Johnny had a blast singing it. It was sort of a precursor to rap. People who think that like rap music showed up as new on the scene, it was new in terms of, hip hop, the early, Curtis Blow and the Fat Boys, and then the Beasties came in and all that. But then this is the type of song that just shows that style, that cadence of lyrics has been around for a long time. Charlie Daniels does it quite a bit in his songs, but this was just hilarious. So, all right, Brian, I'm going to rate this song as you requested, and I would have rated it anyway. I don't know what I rated it the first time around. I don't look that up. I don't want to know what going into it. So the number that popped into my head on this one was a 9.2. And it's all in the creative. It's all for the songwriter who stuck with it. And then Johnny who sang it, just only Johnny can. He had a good sense of humor. So there you go. All right, folks. Hope you enjoyed that one. Have a great day. I'll see you in another video. Enjoy your car and keep rocking the country.